Hello? Hello, hello. Hello? Hello, hello. Hello? Hello, hello. Hello? All right, welcome, if anyone is watching. So I'll pretty much be using this to practice some LeetCode problems for future technical interviews. So I think I need to work more on explaining myself when I am going through the problems, because that's something I don't do at all unless I'm interviewing. I normally don't speak out loud when I'm coding. I don't even know if I do it when I'm pair coding, but this will be practice for that. And yeah, so I had already started on my actual account. I made this new account to go through some different problems that I had already solved. So I'll probably do like some easy ones and then maybe a medium and then call it a day. So I will jump right into it. Merge strings. All right. Merge strings alternatively. You are given two strings, word 1 and word 2. Merge the strings by adding letters in alternating order, starting with word 1. If a string is longer than the other, append the additional letters onto the end of the merged string. Return the merged string. Okay, so simply this is a pretty straightforward problem. We're going to have two words, and then we'll take a letter from the first word, take the first letter from the first word, take the first letter from the second word, and then go back and forth until one or the other runs out. So for the example, we have word 1 is ABC, word 2 is PQR. So we take A, we take P, go back to the first word, take B, take Q, go back to the first word, take C, and go back to the last word, take the R. Okay, so let's go to the solution. We have a function, merge alternatively, and takes two parameters, word 1, word 2, returns a string. So automatically, first thing I will do is probably get the return. So var new word equals an empty string. And then we are going to return the new word. Okay. So next, we have two strings, which isn't really a problem, but we want to have a way to keep track, like a counter, to know which index of the string that we are on. So if we're on the first word, we check the first letter for each word. We can make it characters. Characters, I think, would be easier to keep track of the index. I know there's a way to do it with strings, string.index or something like that. But I think characters might be easier. So let word character 1 equal, so be an array of characters, so an array of word 1. And we'll do the same for the second word, word 2. So array word 2. Let's do counter. And now we need a loop. Okay, I don't think I'll need a counter. We can just use the length. Okay, so let's do let word length count equal, and then Swift has a built-in function to get max. And then we need to pass in 2 integers. So we can pass in the array of characters that we had. Count. Yeah. So 1, and then a word 2. Count. Okay, so since we know how long, or the biggest word between these two, we can use that to do our loop. So this word, no, let's do max word length. Okay, so this would be the longest word. So we want to use the longest word, since maybe the first word might be 3 characters and then the second word might be 4. We don't want to stop the loop until we've done all 4, since we'll alternate until one word runs out, and then we'll just add the rest of the words to the end after the alternation. Okay, so we can do a for loop for I, and I'm gonna start at the 0 index, which was the first letter in the array, and we're gonna go till the max word length, like so. Do this, and then okay. So what we want to do now is start with the first word, and then add it. So we're gonna append it to our new word, empty string, the character, the word character. So I is gonna be our counter, so we can do if I is less than the length of the first word. If I is less than word char 1 dot count, then we are going to append. So new word, append, and then the word char 1, and then we need to pass in the counter so it knows which letter. So we used I. So when we start, it's going to 0. 0 is less than the longest word, it's gonna check if 0 is also less than the entire length of word char 1. If it is, it's gonna take that 0 character and add it to the new word string. Okay. So we also need to do the same thing for the second letter, or the second word. So if I in word jar to account, and then new word append word jar to, and then pass in our counter. Okay, I think I'm done. So what's this? This is gonna do is take both words, so we can have ABC and then P. Okay, so it's gonna come in. So the max word length would be 3, so 0 is less than 3. So it's gonna go to the first next loop. If 0 is less than 3, add it. So it's gonna add the A, it's gonna add the P, and then it's gonna go back. So B, D. Okay, constraint 1 is less than or equal to the word length. Yeah, I think we've handled that. I don't think we need to worry about this. All right. Where's the submit button? Okay. Let's run it. Let's see. Expected. What line is this? If I. Oh no. Oh, what the hell was I doing? If I. Yeah. 8 seconds. Oh, 8 milliseconds, which isn't bad. So it passed all the test cases. Let's submit it and see what is going on. Ooh, 91%. So another thing I need to learn is the space complexity. I don't know if it's O and blah, blah, blah. That's something else I need to work on. Okay, let's look at some other solutions. One-liner. Okay. This is like a map. So this is using the index of the string. These are all kind of complicated. I know reach yet. I can't be doing these ones yet. So this one is what? Peeking and popping. Crazy. Okay, so this is similar to what I did. So But they didn't define the max. They just put it here instead. Pretty straightforward. So this one's using a counter for I. So that was what I was gonna do too, but it's an extra step. All right, first one down. Let's go and do another one. Did I submit it? Okay. Holy, how do I go back? Okay. Greatest common divisor of strings or kids with the greatest number of candies. Okay, let's do this one. There are n kids with candies. You are given an integer array candies with each candies represents the number of candies the ith number has. And an integer extra candies denoting the number of extra candies that you have. Return a Boolean array result of length n where result I is true if after giving the ith kid all the extra candies they will have the greatest number of candies among the kids, or false otherwise. Note that multiple kids can have the greatest number of candies. What are you even saying? Okay. Okay. So we have an array of integers and we have extra candies. So I think what is happening is they're adding the extra candy to each number in the candy, and then they're checking if that is greater than the biggest number in their candies. And they are saying it can be multiple, and if they don't, return false, but they want an array of true and falses. Okay, so the first one we have 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, and extra candies is 3. So the first kid would have 5, which is tied. So yeah. Second one would have 6, which is the highest. So true. 5, 8, true. And then the 1 plus 3, 4, which is going to be false because we have 5 as being the highest. And then we have another 3, which is 6, which is the greatest. Okay, so yeah, it has to be not the highest when you add the extra candies. It's the highest number already in the candies array. Okay. Okay, so this would definitely be my favorite for loop. We need to get the biggest number first, and then we also need to store the trues and falses while we iterate through the candies array. Okay. Okay. So I think the first one I didn't write comments, so let's write some comments first. We need to get the largest kid with candies. Get the largest number of candies in an array. Okay, so we're gonna let, since it's not gonna change, the max candies is always gonna be largest amount. I know my variable names are long. So we just use the max and the first problem. So we can do candies dot max. Okay, and then let bool array, which is gonna be a I don't even need to do all that. Let's just do empty array first. Then for candy and candies, and then we're going to return bool array. Okay, so yeah, so the function kid with candies takes an array of integers and another integer which represents the extra candies that we have. So what we want to do is iterate through candies. So that's what this for loop is going to do. So it's going to go through each number in the candies. So we're going to take the number in candies and add it to, we're going to add the extra candies to it, and then we're going to check if it's larger than or equal to the largest amount of candies. If it is, we append true. If not, we append false. And I think that should work. Okay, so for candy and candies, candy plus extra candies is greater than or equal to the largest amount of candies. And then if it is, append true to bool array, or else we can append false. So for candy and candy, if candy plus extra candies is greater than or equal to largest amount of candy. So if it is, we want to bool array append true. Else we want to bool array append false. Candies, okay. So for candy and candies, if we have a 4 and a 1, that's 5. So 4, 1 is, what's the largest? The largest would be 4. So 4 plus 1 is 5, which is greater than, we append 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, so it would be false. 3 plus 1 is less than. So this wouldn't run, it would go to false. There's only one extra. There's only one extra candy. One, what was that? Okay. 22. This would be 11, so false. 12. So 12 plus 10. 1 plus 10. The largest number is 12. Okay. All right, another easy one. Character empty requires explicit. Okay, so they want me to be explicit on what I'm going to put. What did I just do? Okay, what I'm going to put in this empty array. So it's going to be an array of booleans. So let's do run again. Value is optional, must be unwrapped in the solution. Great. Okay. I hear you. Okay, so I can't use let here since it's gonna be changing, so this has to be var. Can I use mutating? What is it? So what else does it say? Cannot use mutating number, bool array. Okay, that's what we just did. Value of optional type int must be unwrapped to the value of type int in solution. Are you saying Candies max is an optional? Okay. Let's force it first. And then see if it runs. Okay, nice. Oh, that was fast. 0 milliseconds. Okay. So it is this. Let's for unwrap it. Let's do. So we want to get. Let's do guard. Let's largest amount of candies. Equal. Else we will return an empty array. Guardlet. Else we will return. So we want to do this first because if there's no number returned, we don't even want to go through the rest of the function. So since the return type for this function is an array of booleans, we will return an empty array. Will this work? So if there isn't any candies, I mean there's no kid with candies, so we don't need to do anything else. So this should work. Right. Let's see. I mean, the runtime didn't change. I don't think I did anything extravagant. Anyways, ooh, 100%. Zero, zero, zero. Nice. Okay. Let's look at some solutions. One-liner. All the one-liners are maps. Use force. Where's unwrapping? Two-liner. Okay, so they're getting the max. Also doing a map. What? Why are you writing a helper function? Find highest. Are these Swift? Yeah, they are. Are you not supposed to use like the built-in methods? Oh, I guess I could have done this too. Instead of the gardlet. I could have simplified this too. So instead of the if else, I would only append. I could have put check in the append. This was the one I should have probably went with. But it still works. It's not wrong. This is much simpler though. Time complexity and space complexity. So I need to learn these like the back of my hand, but time no day. Okay. All right, let's do another one. Did I submit? Oh yeah, I did submit already. Okay. Okay, so we've done 2 easy ones. Okay, let's do one medium and call it a day. Let's see if anybody's speaking in chat. Okay. All right. Reverse words in a string. Given an input string S, reverse the order of the words. A word is defined as a sequence of non-space characters. The words in S will be separated by at least one space. Return a string of words in reverse order concatenated by a single space. Note the S may contain leading or trailing spaces or multiple spaces between two words. The return string should only have a single space separating the words. Do not include extra spaces. Okay, so this one, first thing we probably will do is remove all spaces. So we just have words and then add spaces in between words. I mean, that is simple enough. Now it's just the code. The space is blue. The sky is blue, sorry. The sky is blue, and then we remove the spaces. Okay, so this one doesn't have any leading or trailing, and it looks like it's already one space in between each word. But so we just reverse it. Blue is sky, duh. Okay, so second one looks like it has two lead-in spaces, two trailing, and then one between hello world. So we'll just remove lead-in, trailing, and then reverse it. Or then no, we remove all spaces, reverse it, and then put in a space in between each word. Your reverse string should not contain leading or trailing spaces. So S equals a good example. So if we take out all the spaces, example good. You need to reduce multiple spaces in between two words in a single space. Constraints. One is less than or equal to the length of S, which is less than or equal to 10 to the power 4. S contains English letters, application, and spaces. There's at least one word in S. If the string data type is mutable in your language, you can solve it in place. Solve in place. I'm guessing that's more space and time. Blah blah. So how am I going to do this? So first thing first, we want to get the words without the space. I know we can use split. Splitting a string into some strings. Okay, so this it takes the line and it removes the spaces. Shows efforts of max split. Omitting empty sequences parameters when splitting. The first use of split returns each word. Okay, so perfect. We can use split and then use the separator as a space. And that should also work for the double spaces. Oh, this looks like a good complexity. I think linear is O1. Or do we want max splits? The second example passes 1 for the max splits parameters of the original. It's split just once into 2 new strings. The first use of split returns each word. Because, I mean, that's the one we want. The final example passes false for the omitted empty subsequences parameter. So the returned array contains empty strings where space is repeated. So we don't want that one because it's going to return the spaces as things in our array, where I just want an array of words split up from the sentence. So I want the sky is blue. Okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, so let's do a variable for our new array of words equals s, which is the string that we're passing in, and then we're gonna split, and then our parameter name is is a separator or something max. Separator. Man, I missed my autocomplete. This is not fun. So this will split up our string into a list, an array of strings, I think. Okay, so first we split the string passed in. No. And split the strings passed in into an array of words with no spaces, no spacing. Okay, so if we pass in the sky is blue, we should have the sky is blue for, and that one is easily reversed. Reverse new array. And I think that's just reversed. Array of words reversed. So let's reversed array equal array of words, and then reversed, I think. I already have it open. Let me just search. Return a view. What? Oh. Returns a view. Returns a view representing the elements of a collection and reversed backwards. For character. Okay, that's not. You can reverse a collection without allocating new space for its elements by calling this reversed method. Reverse a collection instant wraps an underlying collection and provides access to its elements in reverse order. So this one is looping the word, so it's just reversing the word backwards. So yeah, it should work if I'm doing it on an array, because this is doing it characters. And then, so we reversed it. Return a list of. Okay. So we return reversed array. Let's see. Cannot convert return expression of type reverse collection to return string. Oh, we're returning a string. What do I have? I have an array. How do I turn my array into a string? Oh, I need to add spaces back to. Oh. There's a joined. There's a joined. Joined Apple documentation. Yes, returns an element. Returns the elements of a sequence of sequences concatenated. A flattered view of the element of the sequence of sequences. Oh, separator is this one. Returns a new string by given this separate. What? So it's taken an array of words. Okay, and it's joining them. I have a comma and a space. So we can do joined separator and separator, and then this. Let's see. Incorrect argument label encode have separator. I can't spell. Separator, like this. Wrong. Okay. Why is it reversing the letters? So instead of reversing the words, it looks like it's reversing all the letters, which was how the backwards in the documentation was. But oh, this is horrible. A good example. So we're splitting it. Space, reason, a space as a separator. Reversing. So the reversing is working. And then once we've reversed it, we're joining them back together. The sky is blue. What is going on? The sky is blue. The sky is blue. The sky is blue. Or did I not do? I did joined. I did split. Returns the longest possible sequence of collections. Okay. The element should be split upon a number of times. Collection return. Oh, I got it. I didn't add a space to my separator, so it didn't have anything. There we go. So the issue was in my split and joined, I wasn't using an empty space as one of my parameters. Okay. The sky is blue, the blue is sky. So we remove the extra spaces. We remove all the spaces. So what the function is doing is it's getting a sentence as a string, and it's removing all spaces and just creating an array with just words. So each word in an array. And then we are flipping that array. And the issue that we were having before is we were trying to return that array, but the function is expecting a string. So we used the join, which is just going to take that array, and after each word in the array, it adds a space. But it doesn't add it to the first and last, or before the array and after the array. So that handles this one, the hello world. And it all passes. All right. What was that? 3 milliseconds. 66.67. 15.41 of all solution. Yeah, I thought it was 0. Why is it saying runtime 0 milliseconds here? 61 out of 61 test cases. Let's look at some solutions. Not very good runtime, but easy to understand. So this one is doing a for loop on the entire string. If it is not, okay, and then it's saving an temporary array in an array. Okay, this seems complicated. Oh, what's this? I mean, it's the same kind of solution that I had, but they're not even creating new variables. I guess, I mean, this would work too. Split, reverse, join. I don't think I've ever done this though. About higher order. Okay. first one. Recursion. The goal was not to cheat by using operators. I wanted to use pointers and slide through the string. You're fancy. Very fancy. Swift backtracking. Reverse. Finally trim. Okay. Alright, I think I've done an hour. So I did 3. 3 out of what? 9. Okay, so I think going forward. Yeah, 2 easies, 1 medium should be the goal. I'm also doing some offline, but then I think I wasn't doing delete. I was doing the top interviews, 150s on my actual account, but I didn't find a way to clear my account, so I just decided to start a new one for streaming purposes and so I can speak out loud. So tomorrow we'll do 2 easy, 2 mediums, and then the last day we can do the last. So yeah, these ones are all easy and mediums. That's pretty cool. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm sure everyone that's here knows me personally, so if you have any comments, concerns, suggestions, please let me know. See you guys tomorrow. Toodles.